Good morning to all. In our last class, we have discussed about the D and L configuration, and we have also studied about the open chain structure of D plus glucose. So now we are going to discuss about the remaining two more compounds we are going to see. So that is galactose and mannose. First, we'll write the glucose and we'll compare the structure of mannose and galactose with glucose. So we already know it is CHO, C, CH2. Fifth carbon, OH this side, that is right side. Fourth also OH right side. Third one OH left side. Second OH right side. So it is H, H, and H. So this is our glucose. This is our glucose. So we are going to write now about galactose. So it is D-glucose. This is our D-glucose. We know that it is the full name is D plus glucose it is. So D plus glucose or D-glucose we can write. The same way now we are going to write for D-galactose. So the name of compound is D-galactose. D-galactose. Okay. So how it will be, we shall see. CHO, the main chain we are going to write as it is. So when you consider galactose, so we'll number that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it is 6. Okay. So galactose is different from glucose at 4th carbon atom. So if you check in this glucose, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the 4th carbon atom in glucose, OH is on the right side. But in case of galactose, so the 4th carbon atom, OH will be on the left side. That is the only difference. Remaining everything remains the same. Remaining either it may be 2nd carbon, 3rd carbon, 5th carbon, it remains the same. Only at the 4th carbon atom in glucose, OH is on the right side, but in case of galactose, OH will be on the left side. That is the only difference. The remaining thing as it is, you can fill it. So that is 5th carbon atom, OH here and H towards this side. Here this one, 3rd carbon, OH is on the left side. Second, OH is on the right side. Everything remains same. Only there is an change in the 4th carbon atom. So we can write and we can mark it down also. So different at C4. Different at C4 only at C4 it is different with respect to glucose. So galactose is different at C4 only with respect to glucose. So when you consider glucose, when you compare glucose, so C4 there is a change in it. Likewise, we also discuss about D-mannose. It is also same thing. D-mannose. So in case of D-mannose, if it is being considered, so it is different at C2, second carbon only with respect to glucose. With respect to glucose, only at second carbon there is a difference. We shall write on the compound now. Structure will write it. It is CHO, C, 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 is 5 and this is the sixth one, CHOH. Okay, so you can see that second carbon OH is on the right side, but in case of mannose, OH is on the left side. This is first carbon, second, third, fourth, fifth, and it is sixth. Okay, so second carbon OH is on the left side. So in glucose, if you check, OH is on the right side, but in mannose it is on the left side. Remaining everything as it is glucose. Don't copy from mannose again. So as it is glucose, however it is. So fifth OH right, fourth also OH right, third OH left. So only at C2, second carbon, OH position is different, then it is called mannose. If it is C4 is different, then it is galactose. These are the few stereoisomeric forms. Yesterday we have studied 16 16 isomers are possible. So that's what we have discussed. This is how we are going to study. Each will be different. So each structure will be with one or the other carbon atom, or in the configuration it will be different. Until now we have discussed about the open chain structure of glucose, and those glucose related with galactose and mannose also we have studied. But there are some limitations of glucose we have. So those limitations we shall see now. Limitations of open chain structure. Limitations of open chain structure of glucose we are going to study now. So what are those limitations we shall see? The first thing, glucose doesn't show characteristic reactions. It is not like all, some characteristic reactions of aldehydes. Which are those? It doesn't shows the reaction with Schiff's reagent. Schiff's reagent 2,4, it is 2,4-DNP, 2,4-DNP, that is addition reaction with the 2,4-DNP. Likewise, it is also not showing an addition reaction with NaHSO3. NaHSO3. These are the few characteristic reactions, and those few characteristic reactions has not been shown by glucose. We know that glucose consists of aldehydic group. So if aldehydic group is there, means it should show all these reactions. But even though the aldehydic group is free in open chain structure, then also it is not showing the reactions of this one. So that is first point. Next, second thing is glucose reacts with NH2OH. That is nothing but hydroxyl amine. hydroxylamine and forms oxime. Forms the oxime, but glucose pentaacetate does not forms. So glucose reacts with the hydroxylamine to form oxime. This reaction already we have studied that one. So if at all, if it has to form an oxime, aldehydic group is must. This NH2OH group, whatever is there, it is going to react with our aldehydic group. This is what the reaction is. So this is hydroxylamine. So that hydroxylamine is reacting with the glucose and it is forming an oxime. So an aldehydic group is there, because of which an hydroxylamine is reacted and it is forming an oxime here. So if the same thing, so here aldehydic group is present, so that's why an oxime is being formed. Suppose if at all, so if it is consisting of an pentaacetate, if we check the glucose pentaacetate structure. So this is what the glucose pentaacetate structure is. So we have studied glucose pentaacetate structure. So here also we have aldehydic group. So this aldehydic group, if at all, if glucose pentaacetate is being reacted with hydroxylamine, then it should also form oxime, because in glucose, only that hydroxylamine has been reacted with aldehydic group, not with the other groups. Okay, so here in glucose pentaacetate, other groups are there. It should not react with other groups, only it should react with aldehydic group. But this reaction is not being seen. That is that is what we can conclude that. So in glucose pentaacetate, if it is not reacting, that indicates that glucose pentaacetate doesn't consist of and free aldehydic group. Whatever the aldehydic group in glucose it is there, it is not free in pentaacetate. In glucose it might be free, but in glucose pentaacetate structure, that aldehydic group may not be free. That's why that is one of the clear indication that this is also. So the aldehydic group in open chain structure, the aldehydic group is very much free there. But all these things, whatever we have written now, it shows that the aldehydic group is not free in the glucose, indicates the open chain structure is not the correct structure for glucose. There is an ring structure, or we can say that a cyclic structure. So there might be an cyclic structure. So we have one more limitation, that also we shall see. So glucose exists in two different isomeric forms, that is D plus glucose only, D plus glucose exist in two isomeric forms, alpha D plus glucose, beta D plus glucose. These are two different things. So if at all, if alpha D plus glucose, an aqueous solution of alpha D plus glucose is prepared and you are crystallizing that one. So an aqueous solution, whenever it is being heated to a little bit higher temperature, so the solute gets crystallizes and it is going to crystallize at 303 Kelvin. It crystallizes at 303 Kelvin. And the melting point of this one, melting point of alpha D glucose is 419 Kelvin. And one more important thing is there, it has a specific rotation of plus 119 degree, plus 119 degree, that is the specific rotation. What is the specific rotation? Specific rotation is nothing but we have studied yesterday. we have studied in our last class. So this is the rotation. There is an the plane polarized light is going to rotate. It is going to rotate towards the right side or towards left side. That magnitude of what a rotation is there. That magnitude of rotation is called as specific rotation. How much it has been rotated. So here it might be 90 degree, it might be 180 degree, like that. How much? So it has been rotated here very slightly. It has been rotated. It is being measured in terms of angles, in terms of degrees. So that's degree. So here you can make out the degree exactly. This is what the specific rotation indicates. Angle of rotation. That is what nothing but the specific rotation. That specific rotation is plus 111 11 degree. Likewise, beta D glucose, if at all, if it is being considered, so it is being crystallized at beta D glucose is being crystallized above 371 Kelvin, and melting point of this one is 423 Kelvin. Melting point is 423 Kelvin. Likewise, if at all, if specific rotation of beta D glucose is being considered, then it is plus 19 degree. It is plus 19 degree. This plus sign indicates right side. It is a right side. Plus sign indicates right side. If the degrees are with negative, then it will be towards the left side. I hope it is clear. So these are the three most important limitations. So it indicates that the open chain structure is not the correct one. So there is a slight variation in the structure, and the slight variation in the structure we are going to study in our next class. So now we are going to discuss about this alpha D glucose and beta D glucose. These are the two isomeric forms. So what does this indicate? Alpha and beta we'll study in our next topic, but now a very important topic is there, that is mutarotation. We are going to study about that one. Mutarotation. Muta is nothing but it is change in the specific rotation. Change in the specific rotation is nothing but mutarotation. The definition at the end we are going to conclude with the definition. So what is this process we shall see now. So we have two forms, either it is alpha D plus glucose or beta D plus glucose. We have seen that alpha D plus glucose has a specific rotation of 111 and beta D plus glucose has a specific rotation of plus 19 degree. 19.2 actually it is. 19.2 degree it is. 19.2 degree. Okay. So if at all, if you take, let us consider we have taken an alpha D plus glucose and we have prepared an aqueous solution out of it. Alpha D plus glucose and an aqueous solution we have prepared. So that aqueous solution, after some time, we have allowed the solution to stand for some time. If you have left that solution like that only for some time, what happens is, so alpha D plus glucose, some of the alpha D plus glucose compound is being converted as a beta D plus glucose. That is the solution will attain to an equilibrium, and that equilibrium consists of alpha D plus glucose and beta D plus glucose with a 36% of alpha and with a 64% of beta. We have taken alpha glucose, we have taken alpha D plus glucose, we have taken, and we have prepared an aqueous solution out of that one, and we allowed the solution to stand for some time. Then so we can observe, so what a alpha D plus glucose has been converted to beta D plus glucose with an amount 36% and 64% when it attains the solution will attain to equilibrium. The solution is going to attain to equilibrium. Okay, so this is what is going to happen. So this one, the same thing we are going to study in terms of specific rotation. So let us consider we have taken alpha D glucose. Okay, alpha D glucose we have taken, which has a specific rotation of plus 111 degree, and the process had started to convert that one to an equilibrium mixture. Now, so an alpha D plus glucose substance is converted to an equilibrium mixture. That equilibrium mixture consists of 36% of alpha D plus glucose and 64% of beta D plus glucose. That together will give rise to, that is what I'll be writing that one as equilibrium mixture. Equilibrium mixture, what it contains? Equilibrium mixture consists of 36% of alpha D plus glucose and 64% of beta D plus glucose. So that give rise to an specific rotation of 52.5 degree. Equilibrium mixture has a specific rotation of 52.5 degree it is. So if at all, if the same thing happens, if you take a beta D plus glucose also, if you are taking a beta D plus glucose solution, if you are taking a beta D plus glucose solution, then also you are going to get the same thing. So this is going to be beta D plus glucose, already we have seen it is plus 19.2 degree. Okay. So if you take beta D plus glucose, which has a specific rotation of plus 19.2 degree, so that solution, if you're allowed to stand, then again it is going to give rise to an equilibrium mixture. That equilibrium mixture is with a specific rotation of plus 52.5 degree. So that means that, so this is there is a change. Either you take this substance, you'll get this one. Either you take this substance, you are going to get this one. So this is what this process of change in the specific rotation with the time is called as muta rotation, and this value of specific rotation is called as equilibrium value, and the process is nothing but muta rotation. We name that one as muta rotation. So when you check this one, so alpha D plus glucose we have taken. So an equilibrium mixture is there. Here we can see that there is an decrease in the specific rotation. The same thing, if at all, if you check this one, then so it was earlier plus 19.2, but when you consider equilibrium mixture, there is an increase in the specific rotation. So if you take alpha D, there is a decrease, and if you take beta D, there is an increase. So this is what it indicates, but you can observe all with a plus sign. That means that all will be showing an dextrorotator. So that's why it is plus here. It is plus, it is also plus. So all will be showing an dextrorotation, that is the rotation towards right side itself. So we'll write the definition of muta rotation. That is the spontaneous change in a specific rotation of an optically active compound active compound with time, optically active compound with time to an equilibrium value. Is called mutarotation. Mutarotation. So this is what called as mutarotation is.